How are we going? That's for sound. This mic just moves on its own. Ah, this is so annoying! There we go. Hi! Welcome to That's Really Loud. I should have tested my levels first. Sorry, everyone, for giving you mild heart attacks. Now, this is Complete Drivel, episode 51, I believe. Not that anyone really gives two shits about what number the episode is. I went to a really nice Melbourne cafe, and I got this gluten-free brownie. Oh, shit, it's huge. Because nothing is... The sound of somebody eating is just so great, isn't it? Don't you really enjoy this sound? Oh, that's disgusting. The brownie isn't, the sound is. Oh, let me finish it. I'm going to have another bite. It's got peanut butter in it. I know this is probably really boring. No. It is really boring. Oh, God, I'm so hungry. Hold on. Oh. Okay. It's the last bite I had. It's so good. There's something about gluten-free chocolate cake. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, that's so good. It's got peanut butter in it and it's so delicious. God, my breathing is so heavy when I eat. I'm like out of breath from eating. Like I'm legitimately out of breath from eating. That's a sign that you really need to seek medical attention. Genuinely, I've got to get my breath back. Hold on. Oh my God. I had 2 bites of a brownie and I'm out of breath. I didn't even move. I'm standing still. God, that was good though. Should I be concerned for my health? Yes, I should. Now what was I going to do? I was specifically going to... Oh no, the gluten-freeness. I prefer gluten-free chocolate to cake. This is chocolate. Is chocolate gluten-free? Like gluten-free chocolate cake to normal chocolate cake. There's something about the gluten. It's not so heavy. Anyway, there's a cooking tip for you. Take the gluten out. Now, this podcast, I'm pretty much just going to talk about primary school. I got a text about 2.5 hours ago from my friend of mine, Belinda, and she texted me a photo of herself when we were in year 6, and she was in her school uniform, and it is the most hilarious thing. What a little slut. Her dress was so short. Now, she's not of the slut variety. I shouldn't use that word. Whore. She's not a whore. Like, she's the last person you'd expect. If she was to come out and go, guys, I'm a whore, I'd be like, what? I never saw that coming. Unless I go back to when you were in year 6 and your dress was literally just like, full see thigh. It was almost like just covered a vag. And then we were laughing, we were texting about stuff we remember. And some of the stuff I remember from primary school, I'm not proud of. We were horrible. Yeah, we were horrible to some kids. And like, I wasn't really picked on in primary school. I got called a girl a lot because I only ever hung out with the girls because I couldn't relate to the boys because they did sports. I didn't want to do sports. Ugh, still don't want to do sports. Look at me. You can't see me. But you can. I'm filming and I just pointed to the camera. So that will make sense if you're watching the footage. I've decided to film these now and put them on YouTube. Go, have a YouTube channel if you didn't know. Just search Christian Hull. And all you can hear is this because I've just eaten. Okay, what have I written down here? Stories from primary school. Never ever. Urinal, never ever. I can't pee at a urinal. And it all started in primary school because the urinal was terrifying because it was so high. It's like, who pisses that high? I was so short as a kid, but I remember going to the urinal and the whole urinal was like almost twice the height of me. And it was massive and you push the flushy thing and it's like, and then water goes everywhere. And it was so terrifying. So my fear of urinals is from primary school. I have to pee in a cubicle. Also, it used to be, I've gotten over that now. When you get older, you stop caring about things like this. But I couldn't pee or other things with anyone in the bathroom. No one. I had to wait. I had to stand in the cubicle and wait for people to leave before I weed. I also do the same for the other gross version that we don't talk about. There cannot be a soul in the bathroom. I don't know why. I just hate it. School captain. It would surprise 100% of you to know that I was school captain in year 6. Christian, how many people were in grade 6? There were 12 of us. Yeah, that's right. I went to a school in Sydney, right? Population 4 million, but I went to a school of 120 people, and there were 12 of us in year 6. Christian, how many boys? I think there were 5. No, there was more than 12. There was like 24 people. But there was like maybe, I want to say there were like 7 boys to 600 girls. And it wasn't 7 boys and, I don't know, whatever. 7 kids. And of those 7, 3 people wanted to be school captain. I was one of them. Wow. I had a 33% chance of winning and I got it. What were the responsibilities of school captain? I had to give a speech at another school I didn't even know for Anzac Day. It was the most terrifying thing. No rehearsals. We had no rehearsals. And there was like, I think there was about 4 schools, 4 complete schools came together at Eastwood Primary, which was massive. It was a huge school. And I went to St. Therese and our tiny school went to Eastwood Primary. It was Denniston East was there. Was it? Yeah, no, Anzac Day. Yeah, and we were all there and then all the school captains gave this speech. Now, I was, I think, one of the last people to speak. So what would happen is I noticed that the school captains, boy and girl, would go up at the same time, right? They'd walk up at the same time. So Sarah, who's the female school captain from my school, gets up. So I'm like, well, I'll just get up and go with her. No, I wasn't supposed to. So she's giving a speech and I'm standing there. And then some other guy starts talking. I'm like standing there going, when am I talking? And then they're like, is she me to sit down? So I'm mortified. I'm so embarrassed. I'm standing there for 20 minutes like an absolute knob jockey. And so then I go back and sit down just to paint the picture of how I looked. I'm going to put a photo up on the video of me in year 6. I look about 5 years old. I'm tiny. I'm at my goal weight. I'm so thin. And like I was this tiny kid. I look like I was a kindergartner in year 6. Okay, so I go back, sit down. So embarrassed in front of so many people. And anyway, they call me up and I give my speech. Now, I'm the one that says, and now let's pause for a minute silence. So I do my thing. I do the pause and I look down. I'm like, okay, got my clock, got timing, everything's great. So the timer gets to about 36 seconds and this bitch of a teacher next to me is like, time, okay, and go. I'm like, no, it's been 36 seconds. I'm not going. Respect the Anzacs, you stupid woman. And so she's like, go. And she gets really aggressive. She's like, go, keep going. I'm like, it has not been a minute. And I'm like, no, I will not. And there's this scene happening where she's like, go, we're running so late. What? So we're going to cut the minute silence, you awful human. I was very proud of myself because I was so terrified. And I was like, no. And there's all these like grandparents there with their medals and they're all there. My grandparents were there. And I was like, no, I am not cutting 1 minute silence. And so it got to a minute and just to piss her off, I went to a minute 10. Take that. So I did my thing. Everyone sat down, blah, 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 carried on. Mum and Dad came up to me after and was like, we're so proud of you. We could see that woman was trying to wrap you up and you refused. I was like, thanks. My grandfather was like, I'm going to get you a beer. And I was like, I'm 6. I think I was 12, but I looked 6. And I remember that was so vivid. I also remember as part of the school captain sort of programship, we went to this lecture and we had to, make a paper plane with one arm. And then Ernie Dingo was there. And I remember at the time, the first celebrity I ever saw in the flesh, Ernie Dingo. And I was like, oh my God. Like for a year 6er, Ernie Dingo was like Angelina Jolie was there giving a speech. And I was like, oh my God, it's Ernie Dingo. Oh my God. And then I was sitting so the auditorium was like split into 2 halves. So the seats on one half, seats on the other, angled down. And to get onto the stage, you ought to walk down these stairs with seats on the side. Now he walked back up. I was, of course, in an aisle seat. And as he walked past, the gust of wind brushed against my cheek. I was like, oh my God, that's Ernie Dingo's gust of wind. It's touched me. Oh my God, I want to go out. I'm going to get his signature. Oh my God, he's like the most famous person I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God. And I was having a meltdown. Didn't end up getting his signature. Was far too scared. And that happened. It might also surprise you to know that I was also the year captain in year 4. I don't know how that happened. I think the voting was rigged. I think because I was like a real teacher's pet. Like the teachers loved me because I was this sweet, little, cute, tiny thing that was so polite and nice. And I think they pitied me because they knew I was like a gay. And being a gay in the early 90s would have been like, oh, he's going to have such a hard, difficult life. We're going to doctor the votes and make him the leader just so he can feel loved for once. And so I got class captain in year 4. In year 6, right? The least sportiest person in the world. I even ran for sports captain. I was like, I'm going to get one of these things. I ran for all of them, got school captain. Again, I'm pretty sure the teachers rigged that because they felt bad for the little gay kid who will have a terrible life ahead of him. Haven't. It's been great. Lots of delightful situations I've gotten myself into. What? Talking about the penis. What? Near death. Oh my God. No. I had a near-death experience in primary school. So St. Therese is on a corner of a very busy road, Blaxland Road, right? And then Inkerman. I think it's Inkerman. Oh, it's one of them. Yeah. Really? Not crucial to the story, Christian. Press on. So where I sit to have recess and lunch was right up against the sort of Blaxland Road side of the school. And all there is this like chicken wire big fence to keep us in. And so I normally sit on the hill and I'm eating, right? Yum, 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 eat. And also my metabolism was so good when I was younger. I could eat anything and I was still a stick thin. Anyway, I have a sick day. So I take the day off and I come back into school the next day and I look over to where the Blaxland Road fence is. It's gone. There's a massive hole in it. The playground is sort of fallen down. Where I'm sitting is just covered in shit. And I was like, wow, are they just demolishing shit? What's happened? I found out during lunchtime there was a serious car accident and the truck swerved into the school. And because, like, out of sheer luck, there were no children sitting where I usually sit, and no one got injured. But I usually sit where the truck ended up. Would have died. I would have died. But you know what? Jesus, our Lord and Saviour, said, Christian, I'm going to give you the flu for today. He didn't. I don't believe in that. But I was like, oh, I don't want to go to school. I'm a psychic. I had a premonition. I'm going to die if I go to school today. So I'm just going to pretend to be sick. That's exactly what happened. Nothing like that. I don't even know why I took the day off. I think I injured myself. Like I had like a cut. I cried. And then Mum was like, oh, my poor little gay son who's never going to achieve anything in life because he's gay. You can have the day off. She didn't say that. My mum loves me, I hope. I've got written down here, stitches in head. Oh, that would have been year 5 or year 4? I think it was definitely before. No, it was after the renovations. Again, Christian, points no one cares about. It doesn't add to the story. So I'm going to say year 4. And my mum worked in the clothing pool, as it was called. She designed this school uniform and she was a fashion designer. Who had children and had to give that all up and spent her life desperately trying so hard to change the school uniform and managed to change it and came up with like 80 designs. Like she was given this like project to manage. Like, Karen Hull, you can manage the new uniforms. And she designed about 7 and then there was like a voting party and she pinned them all up on the walls in school and then the parents came in, they all had to vote and then this one thing won. I think it was like my mum's biggest life achievement. She designed the St. Therese school uniform and they still wear it to this day. Well done, Karen Hull. Let's just take a minute to appreciate school fashion designer, Karen Hull. I forget where this story is. Oh, right. So she's in the clothing pool over in the corner and I was like, I'm just going to go to Mum. School's finished. Get my ride home. And I'm waiting outside the clothing pool. I love saying that. And I just get a boof on the head. Bag fight, I hear from a guy called Vic. He just boofed me on the head with his school bag. Not a thing, Vic. We've never done that before. I don't know why you felt the need to start a bag fight. Lovely kid. He was just bored. And bag fight. Poof. Oh, God, that actually really hurts. That really hurt. My school hat on, my bucket hat. And I turned around and I was like, no, not now. That really hurt, Vic. Like, it felt like there was a piece of Lego in his bag. And it just hit my head really violently. Turns out it was glass. And he smashed me on the head with some glass. The fractured my skull. Overreacted, didn't fracture my skull. In the front pocket of his bag was a beaker of some description, and he went backfired, poof, and the beaker shattered, pierced through the school bag, pierced through my bucket hat, and stabbed me in the head. Now, because the hat was on, there was no visible bleeding. The pain was quite large. I cried. Oh my God, I cry, still cry, anything. I stubbed my toe, tears. Wimpy kid. So I'm in tears at this stage. Mum's like, everything's fine, calm down, you'll be all right. Takes my hat off to assess the damage, drenched in my hair. She's like patting my hair and it's like, she's like, oh, that doesn't sound correct. Blood everywhere. She's like, oh no, you'll be fine. I'm like, she didn't tell me what was wrong. Like, she didn't want to alert me. Good on you, Mum, because I would have, I can't tell you how much of an overreactor I am. You can probably tell that I overreact to a lot of things, and getting boofed on the head and getting the tiniest cut, it was so tiny, I would have just taken 6 years off school. So we go to the doctor. It needs, you ready for how many stitches it needed? This will shock you. One whole stitch. It was a lot more dramatic than that. The story goes on. So much drama. I was crying. I was terrified because I was like, she's going to have to stitch me back up. She's going to have to shove a needle and thread and sew my head up. Anyway, there was lots more tears than that. I've written down here, walkathon. Oh, God, do you remember doing walkathons in primary school? And the readathon. The readathon. We had to read books. There's one thing I don't do, still don't, is read books. It's not that I can't stand them. I've read like a handful of books. I've read Harry Potter. I've read Tyler Oakley's biography. I've read Emericiano's biography. David Sedaris. I've actually read quite a bit, but that's literally it, right? I once attempted to read the Bible because I thought it would cure me of my sins. And then they readathon. Okay, how many books would you like to sponsor me for? It's $1 per book. I read no books. I just lied. Oh, yeah, I read 15 books, so $15, please. Go around and collect the money. Which leads me, do you remember having to do like the chocolate raffle things? You get a big thing of Cadbury with blocks of chocolate. Oh my gosh. The only people that bought, you go around the neighbourhood, yes, no. Was the parents. It's the parents of the children that buy the chocolate. Mum bought almost all of them. I stole some. She was like, oh, we're short. I'll just throw in the $4. And then when it got to high school fundraisers and I sort of had my own money-ish, I just ended up buying boxes. Coconut Rough. Oh my God, wasn't that the most amazing drug? I've never seen that again. I used to just get, hi, can I just get the Coconut Ruffs? And it would be 24, blocks of 24 pieces of Cadbury Coconut Rough. I would buy each one of them. I'm starting to really realise where the fatness began. That was in year 11. Let's just, I've written down here fake raffle. Now, I remember with my neighbour, we were in primary school or high school? We must have still been in primary school. And we thought it would be a great idea to just buy some really cheap items, scrounge for the house, and ask other people in the street for stuff they were throwing out and do a street raffle. Now, Amy and myself did this raffle. It was completely real. Amy thought it was totally real. She didn't realise I completely rigged it. So a neighbour put in this cool chest of drawer little desk thing, and I was like, I want that. So I need that. It was floral and it was the gayest thing imaginable, and I was like, I need that for my desk. How am I going to get it? Amy was like, that's a great prize. We'll make that the first one. I'm like, can we just leave it out and can I have it? No. So anyway, we sell tickets to this raffle. We make money. We make some serious money from it. First prize was a thing of Coke and this drawer liner and some chips. For us, it was oh my God, that's amazing. For an adult, it was I'm throwing all of those in the bin. Anyway, so we sell all these raffle tickets in our street. And Amy and I are sitting there, we've got them all there. And I was like, I'm going to draw first prize. And what I did was I didn't want to draw out my own name. So I was like, I've got to make this not so suspicious-y. So what I did was I found my brother's raffle ticket and I put it in my hand. And scrunched in my hand, hidden. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to pick one out. It's already in my hand, right? And so I'm pretending to draw it out. And I draw it out. And I'm like, oh my God, my brother Tim won first prize. Yay! And so I didn't tell Tim and I totally took the first prize. And then, look, to be legitimate, second and third prize was legitimately won by people in the street. But I don't think I ever told Amy that I rigged that. I don't even think she'll care/remember, but that is so ingrained in me that I felt so guilty. We charged like 20 cents a ticket, which when you're in high school, it's like $20. It feels like $20. But I totally rigged our raffle, our street raffle. I still feel guilty. I still feel like I need to redraw it with all the members of the street, even though like 90% of them have moved. Oh, that's all I've got written down. Stitches in head near to playing. I wrote down playing Sandy in the school musical. I think I've already spoken about that on an episode, but just quickly, I'll wrap this one up now. We had like a variety show, and so all the different years sort of do different acts. So it wasn't like we did Grease the musical and I played Sandy. What it was one of the acts was like the dance troupe or whatever it was, and they were dancing, and they were just like, oh God, we're short a character, and they just opened the door. It was like, Christian, do you want to come in and play Sandy in this like piece we're doing? And I was like, it's a girl character, but sure, nothing bad will happen to me in the playground after I play Sandy in the school variety show. That was my quick and painful demise into Loserdome. But I'm proud I played Sandy. All I had to do was just like sit in a car and go, Sandy, and like bob up and down. I didn't wear a wig. It just was me in like my blacks. Like no one wore costumes. Very disappointed. Can you imagine if I dressed as Sandy? Can you imagine how great the photo would look if I dressed as Sandy? As a 10-year-old? Oh my God. It would have been a great coming out. Anyway, I have to go. I've filled the allotted time of 22 minutes. It's a long video. But a normal size podcast. Make sure you subscribe. I'm just going to talk to the camera for 1 second. Subscribe to the podcast because you just should. Do it. I have no reasons why. I don't know why. And to everyone who is listening to this, thank you. I really appreciate you taking time out of your very productive day to listen to complete and utter drivel. Hence why I called it complete drivel. Thanks so much, everyone. I hope that wasn't too boring. Oh, now I can eat my brownie. Oh, your brownie. Oh, Christian, that's inappropriate.